Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into a topic that hits incredibly close to home for, well, pretty much every family. We're going to look at why that tempting homework reward might actually be setting a trap for your kids, and more importantly, how we can strategically fix it. We're drawing on some absolutely fascinating insights from Dr. Omer Çelikkol's Parenting Science series to break the whole thing down. I mean, we've all been there, right? You're completely exhausted, you're just trying to survive the evening routine, and you throw out the classic line, finish your homework and you can have an hour of gaming. And you know what? It works like an absolute charm the first time you use it. The kid finishes up quickly and peace is magically restored to the household. But let's play this out over just 1 week. Day 1, it works perfectly. Day 2, you make the exact same offer. But by day 7, suddenly you're hearing, so what do I get if I do my homework? Out of nowhere, the homework is only worth doing if there's a separate prize attached to it. What started as simple compliance has completely morphed into a negotiation. Okay, so here's our roadmap. We're going to cover the short-term reward trap, the 4 ways rewards backfire, when temporary incentives actually make sense, a 5-part SMART plan, and finally, how to build real motivation beyond the prize.
Starting with part 1, the short-term reward trap and why they feel so incredibly effective.
Well, why do we use rewards in the first place? Honestly, because they change behavior fast. They make the immediate benefit totally visible to a child, and they save us from having long, exhausting explanations when everybody's just tired. They focus heavily on speed and immediate compliance. But here's the thing, speed isn't the whole ballgame. We ultimately want children learning that they can tolerate effort, notice their own progress, and truly own their responsibilities. Any reward system we use has to support these lessons rather than replace them. Which brings us to part 2, 4 ways rewards backfire, or the hidden costs of compliance. It's absolutely crucial to understand how these quick fixes can blow up in our faces when a prize becomes the main reason for every single responsibility. The source material highlights 4 specific risks. First, the reward itself becomes the focus, meaning the child might rush through the task, taking the easiest possible route and completely tanking the quality. Second, the expected price goes up. Third, ordinary chores turn into a marketplace transaction where they ask, "What do I get?" before lifting a finger. And fourth, if you suddenly remove the prize, massive conflict, because to them, it feels like a loss. This leads straight into what we call the escalation trap. Yesterday, a harmless little sticker was enough. Today, you might relate to this, feeling trapped in negotiations for extra cash, major purchases, or just endless screen time. The price of compliance literally just keeps going up. All right, part 3, when temporary incentives work. It's time for the pivot.
Now, let's just remove the parental guilt for a second, because rewards aren't inherently evil. We just need to reframe them. We have to see them as a temporary bridge to cross a gap, rather than a permanent destination. A temporary incentive is actually highly effective when a child is learning a specific, observable new behavior. Think of things like using a new daily checklist, remembering to bring materials to their desk, or starting homework at an agreed-upon time. It's modest, it's predictable, and most importantly, it's temporary. To do this, we need a massive paradigm shift. Instead of a transaction, like complete your homework and I'll buy you something, we want a natural sequence. Think of it more like when your responsibilities are complete, you may choose how to use your remaining free time. It's the stark difference between literally purchasing compliance and establishing a natural order where leisure safely and predictably follows responsibility. We also need to rethink how we praise. Instead of controlling praise like, "Good job, you did exactly what I wanted," we want to use informative encouragement. This highlights their growing independence. You're directing their attention to their strategy and their effort, rather than making adult approval the ultimate goal of the whole exercise. Moving right along to part 4, the 5-part SMART plan. Basically, our roadmap out of the trap. Let's see how all of this builds into a highly actionable strategy. Step 1 is to target a controllable skill. This shifts the focus away from rewarding outcomes entirely out of their control, like getting perfect grades, and focuses on mastering actual behaviors they can control, like asking for help appropriately or just starting on time. This brings us to step 2, which is absolutely vital. Use the smallest effective incentive. Seriously, you don't need to start with a giant prize. Just a single point, one shared activity, or even just one simple acknowledgement is very often more than enough to get the gears turning. Step 3 is to pair that minimalist incentive with highly specific, useful feedback. For instance, say something like, "You used the checklist and began with only one reminder." The child now knows exactly what strategy worked and why they're succeeding. Step 4 is reducing the reward gradually. You want these incentives to fade out over time. You start by rewarding every successful attempt. Then, you step it down to just occasional recognition. Finally, you shift them toward self-monitoring, where they notice their own visible progress and feel a natural sense of satisfaction. And finally, Part 5, Motivation Beyond the Prize, or How to Raise a Capable Human. This ties right into Step 5 of our plan, protecting choice and competence. Because how do we actually build durable intrinsic motivation that lasts long after the points and the stickers are completely gone? We do it by elevating the task itself beyond the prize. According to the source material, children are more likely to develop durable motivation when they experience 4 specific things: meaning, competence, choice, and connection. Let's break those down. First up is meaning. This basically answers the question, why does this even matter? We build meaning by connecting their work to real, tangible goals. For example, you can point out how practicing a specific reading skill today is going to help them understand that super cool science topic they already love. Next is competence, which answers, can I actually become better at this? We build this by helping them notice their own visible progress. You can highlight this directly by saying, hey, you know last month this type of math problem took you 20 minutes? Today you knocked it out in 10. Then we have choice, answering, where do I have appropriate control? We offer choice by letting them decide the order of their tasks, or maybe where their workspace will be. Do they want to start with writing or math? This gives them a profound sense of ownership over the process, rather than feeling like they're just mindlessly following orders. Now, a very important caveat from our source. Keep in mind, if a child persistently struggles to start homework despite setting up this wonderful structure, the issue might not be a lack of motivation at all. It could actually be anxiety, fatigue, and academic demand that exceeds their current skills, or even a learning difficulty. In those cases, simply cranking up the reward will only increase the pressure. What's really needed there is curiosity and, when appropriate, professional support. So, I want to leave you with this final, crucial thought to reflect on today. The most important question isn't what prize will make my child work. Instead, it's this. When the gaming hours and the stickers finally fade away, what skill, what success, and what sense of ownership will remain? Thank you for joining me for this explainer, and I hope this helps you build lasting responsibility in your home.